Welcome in everyone to another Genshin Impact video. In today's video, I'm going to be giving my thoughts and opinions and a little disclaimer about the 3.5 banners the first half. So, starting with Daya's banner, word of caution from what I've heard. We don't talk about leaks on this channel, but from what I've heard, Daya is not the best unit. Sure, apparently she's just not very strong from what Theory Crafters have been saying, from people that got to play in the beta have been saying. So that is a word of caution, but disclaimer to the disclaimer. If you like a character, if you really like the design, you like their kit, whatever, and you want to play them, pull them. You know, if you want to pull them and you like the character's design, you want to main them, whatever, then do it. You know, at the end of the day, it's your account, and this game is not that hard to where they could release a weak character and you could still make them work. With enough investment, any character can pump out some damage and end up being pretty decent at, like, the worst, right? So if you want her, you like her design, I personally love her design, then go ahead and pull her. I'm going to be skipping this banner for me personally because I don't need Daya as much as I like her design. I'm really saving for Ayaka because I've wanted her since the beginning of the game, and I have not got her. So I'm going to be saving for Ayaka personally, but again, if you want Daya, you can pull her. As for the 4 stars, Barbara, you get a free Barbara, first off. Secondly, she's just not really that good. Hardly ever used. There's just so many better Hydro supports out there, especially healers. So, yeah, you know, if you want her, sure, but you probably don't need her. Kale, another one that we got for free, which is crazy. They put 2 characters that they gave us for free on the same banner, and Kale just kind of gets eclipsed by every other Dendro support out there. And that's really unfortunate for her because I love her design. I love her as a character. I think she's awesome. But even Dendro Traveler is in most cases just strictly better than her, has more Dendro application and everything. So again, like 2 pretty much huge L's for people's accounts because they're just not very good. They're not really going to add to your account too much unless you're just starved or brand new or something, right? But again, like, you could get a Barber for free, and if you don't have a free Kale, you can try if you want, but again, you could just use the Traveler and they're going to be better. Bennett, you don't need me to tell you about Bennett. Bennett's amazing. If you don't have a Bennett, I would recommend pulling on one of the 2 banners just to get a Bennett, or to get C1 if you don't have a C1, because his C1 is really what brings Bennett to like that 6-star level, right? Like, Bennett is just insane. Personally, me, I have C5 Bennett, C6 technically, but I don't C6 him because you don't C6 Bennett. And so again, skip for me personally. I don't need any. I have all these characters, and except for Daya, and I don't really want her because I do not need her. Going on to the next banner, we have Cyno. Cyno is really cool. He's a good, strong, solid hyper carry Electro character, but the problem is there's a lot of Electro characters in the game, and most people's accounts do not need an Electro hyper carry or Electro carry main DPS because they already have one, right? Like, you could, like, a lot of people have Kaching, a lot of people have Ryan Shogun. That's one of the most wished banners of all time, right? So the problem with Cyno is the fact that he has a lot of stiff competition, and even though he's really good and he's a lot of fun, so again, if you like him, go for him. Again, it's always a disclaimer, and he is a lot of fun. But the problem is like, he just has a lot of stiff competition, and most people don't need another Electro carry on their account. So if you don't really need him, and you care more about like being a meta or just getting characters that would actually help your account, he probably won't. But if you don't have an Electro carry, he is a really solid Electro carry. His only biggest issue is his on-field time is so high, like 18 seconds. So if you do his elemental skills properly, and there's not really any supports that can fully utilize him being on the field for 18 full seconds, because your rotations are usually faster than that. So that's kind of like his big thing. So I would just say that as like a word of caution. But again, if you like his design, then you can go ahead and go for him. I'm personally skipping because I'm saving for Ayaka, but he is a cool character, and I don't need another Electro carry. And then really quick, weapon banner. I'm going to put the weapons on the screen as I talk about them, for just so you guys have a reference. The Claymore is solid, especially because it has crit rate on it. So it is a really good Claymore. But the problem is there's not a lot of Claymore characters that are in the meta currently. And even though I wouldn't say there's a lot of really, really solid Claymore options, the ones that are solid are so good that they kind of just eclipse a lot, like the majority of the other Claymores, right? Like, you could get Serpent Spine, and Serpent Spine is like basically a 5-star Claymore, even though it's a 4-star, it just has a 4-star attack stat. But really, like, what it does for you is like 5-star level, especially R5. Like, R5, it truly is a 5-star just because of how much the Serpent Spine gives you. And there's like Red Horn Stone Thresher and some other ones which has crit damage on. It's huge. It's a big old stat stick. So if you like it and you do need a Claymore, then you can get it. But we're also getting a really, really solid Claymore, especially for supports. like Beto, even Dilute could use it. We're getting one for free, the Mailed Flower, as you can see on the screen. And it's really solid. It's a lot of elemental mastery, especially in Dendro focused meta. This Claymore is going to be awesome. So again, that when you're getting that, it's also kind of hard to recommend the Beacon of the Red Sea. Now, Staff of Scarlet Sands is really good. I'm not going to lie. It's very solid. It's not a Staff of Homa, but it is really, really good, and especially in these Dendro elemental mastery meta that we find ourselves in. So it is really good. If you want it, you can pull for Cyno's signature weapon. However, I will say there is a lot of really good pull arms out there, and for the most part, for most people's accounts, it's not like an account changing item, so it's not absolutely necessary. Plus, the weapon banner for the most part is something that mainly only whales pull on, just because of the way it's designed. So again, if you are free to play, low spender, whatever, I just wouldn't recommend summoning on the weapon banner ever in general, unless you really like a character, you really want to make him go all out on him, then go ahead. The 4 stars, none of them really stand out for me, except for possibly the Alley Flash. It's good for Bennett because it has a high base attack stat, which is what Bennett cares about. So if you don't have like a Kia Favonia, then you could go for the Alley Flash. But the other one's not great. Eye of Perception is garbage. It's not good at all. I've never seen anyone really use the Alley Hunter, and Sacrificial Greatsword. I think the only time I've personally even used it is on Chongyun to help keep up his elemental infusion uptime. And then Dragon's Bane can be good. You'll see it on like super invested Hu Taos who either don't have Staff of Homa or like their crit rate and crit damage is so insane that they can like get away with running it. But usually you will run like a Staff of Homa or even like a Jade Wing Spear or something like that. Deathmatch, whatever. So again, like the weapon banner, the 4 stars in my opinion are all just not good. Like they're not worth it, really. The only one that could technically be worth is the Alley Flash, and then the 5 stars are good. Like they're solid. They're 5 stars. They're solid, right? But they're not account changing. So that's my warning. That's my disclaimer. Personally, I'm skipping. I'm saving for Ayaka, and I will be doing those pulls live. I'm super excited for Ayaka. I do stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/SenpaiZaya. And we have a ton of fun over there, so come over and hang out. Oh, and by the way, me personally, I never really wished on the weapon banner, except for this last patch, because I want a Staff of Homa or Aquila Simulacra. I think that's how you say it. No, Aqua Simulacra, not Kia Favonia. And I did it on stream. You can see that there's a YouTube short on the account. And I, with one pull, not on pity, I was in like 40 something. Not on pity, I pulled it. So it was a really hype moment. It was really awesome. Chat went wild. It was crazy. So yeah, come over and hang out with us on Twitch. I would really appreciate it. Stream Monday and Fridays, 7 p.m. PST. We have a ton of fun, but that's all for this video. I do hope that this helped you make some decisions. Remember, stay strong with saving your primo gems. I know it's hard. Trust me, I have a problem with it too, but I get it. And I will see you in the next one.